who's been doing it for 30 years. I asked this NASA astronomer what his best proof of Earth's motion is, and he said the reverse motions of the stars. It's like, dude, that's not just happening in the north and south. It's like you can go to the south and watch them rotate clockwise and look north and see them go counterclockwise. And you can be here in the north, watch them go counterclockwise in the north, and then look south and watch them go clockwise. It's like, dude, it's not subject to the latitude. That means it's not proof of Earth's motion. And like I went over, just destroyed Earth's motion after that because there needs to be trajectory of the other motions of Earth as well, as you and I both know. So. All right, Gene, thank you for taking your time out of the day to do this. I appreciate you.
No problem, brother. I appreciate you thinking of me to do something so cool with you, man. And bring in the alleged New Year with something so compelling is really, really great. I'm happy to be here with you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had people tell me Happy New Year, and then I'm like, according to what calendar? And a lot of people didn't get it. It'll like go over their head, and I had to explain it to them. But
Yeah, it's funny. I hate to I feel like I'm kind of like the wet rag on the party sometimes. When I'm like, that's no party, this narrative stuff that we're living under. And I don't want to participate in it in like any way, shape, or form anymore. I just don't.
no, that's good. That's good. We
Yeah.
shouldn't. It's hard to.
It
You know what I
is
mean? After you.
difficult. We're surrounded, bro.
Mm-hmm. It's everywhere
Surrounded.
too.
Hey, man.
So I had just released a video called Flat Earth Advanced that had taken me quite a while to edit this video. So for anybody who has not seen it, it was released July 8th. And I do recommend you checking out my YouTube channel to check that out. It actually already got banned in a few different countries.
That's success.
Yeah, I know success. Yes, I did something right. Absolutely.
What a shame that, we look at things like that as a success when we're being, you know, covered up and shadow banned and ostracized.
Absolutely. Hmm.
That's just speak volumes to people.
It should. Like, why are they going to go so far out of their way to shadow ban and even hide the amount of views and likes and like who knows how many subscribers are being hidden from me? Who knows how many comments are.
Don't want the truth of this world getting out to the public, the
Hmm.
society. They really don't want any of the true nature of the beautiful realm we live in to be widespread information and practiced by people and have this information shared between us all. And I find that's disturbing also. Like,
Yeah.
why do they care? Why is it such a big deal?
Hmm.
I realize it really is a big deal when they change the conditions, the shape, and the reality of where we live into something that we can't see, touch, taste, feel, see, any of it. None of our senses jive with the heliocentric model. All of our senses tell us we're stationary.
Hmm.
Flat's a little different, but stationary is, and that goes with the stars also, Kevin. In your video, it tells the stars being in the same position for thousands of years tells me that sky moves, not the ground.
Absolutely. And I think that's a bigger part of this deception is the fact that we are stationary. People get so turned off by flat Earth. It's like, no, you're not seeing the bigger picture here. I think flat Earth is maybe like 10% of it. You know what I mean? The other
Right,
40% is, hey, we're not moving. The other 50% is, hey, the firmament.
right,
The
right.
reality you've been taught is not what you think it is.
Yeah. I'd rather be suspicious and wrong than just believe them and be wrong, I guess.
Yeah. And if it's science, then why can't we test it? It's like, how dare us test the heliocentric religion, right? It's
Yeah, yeah. And speak of religion, there's thousands of religions that all these different countries have, but the space is one thing they all agree on, like the Antarctic Treaty here. is something they all like mysteriously agree upon. There's no big no-go zone. In space, they all agree on that, and they're all collaborating, which tells me that there's no division between the governments.
No. Hmm.
There's no division between these people.
Yeah, that's
The
proof
division
of.
is like us and them. That's the big division.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Absolutely. They think of us as little roaches or whatever, but the fact that they all agree upon Antarctica, they all agree upon outer space, that just proves NWO. You know what I mean?
There's something behind these scenes, pushing buttons and pulling levers and causing narratives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Kev, I thought that video was really outstanding, and congratulations on being able to, you know, conceptualize and bring that video into life. I thought it was an exceptional job, bro. So, congratulations, man. I know you put a lot of time in, and yeah, I was wondering how long did it take you to actually make that video?
So I need to go back and look in the first editing file that I opened up, but I'm pretty sure it was April of last year. So it's
Wow.
taken months and months and months to do it. And I've always had like almost the layout in my brain, right? Of how I wanted it, what information I wanted, what observations I wanted to do. And this video, Gene, it took so many different turns. I'm telling you, like I originally named it Observations on the Beach because most of my observations were on the beach, but
Okay.
after going through the footage, it was like, all right, I'm not going to just be staying on the beach for this entire video. I had a whole intro already edited of me setting up my camera and had the music all done and everything.
Wow.
And completely scrapped that intro.
Okay, a lot of stuff hit the ground,
Yeah, a
huh?
lot of stuff hit this ground. I had the part two of the video because I edited this video in like five different parts. I had part two of the video all focused on like these hotels that I was zooming in on in Florida. And then I get onto Google Earth and I realize it's not those buildings that I thought it was. And I had
Okay.
so much invested into the part two
Oh,
of the video that it was all surrounded around these hotels that ended up not being the same hotels as I thought it was. I was just like,
okay.
there's so much good information in here, but I can't just pick and choose what parts to use in this video. And it was already like 7.5 minutes in. So I was like, you know what? I'm just scrapping the entire part two and then just
Wow.
re-editing the entire thing. But which was cool because that gave me a chance to edit part three and part four. So by the time I went back to edit part two, it was like, all right, this is going to be a lot different than I thought it was going to be. But I did use some
Wow.
information from the original edit that I did, but it just ended up turning out a lot different though.
Wow, that's interesting. So yeah, it's like I like to create and to bring stuff into life. I like with clay and stuff like that, sculpting and
Hmm.
um so it's interesting when you have an idea and it morphs on its own for whatever reason and to come out with such a great outcome is great. It's
Absolutely.
awesome.
I thank you. That's kind of how I considered it too, was like art. You know what I mean? Like I
Hmm.
was explaining the production process to a couple of my friends at church last Sunday, and I was like, this is like me putting together a puzzle, but I'm the one creating all the puzzle pieces. I'm the one putting them together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm the one who had to put this all, like God willing,
Yeah.
like I gave God all the glory at the end for sure, but it wasn't an easy task. So I think
Ah.
that's what's cool because this content is not like the average flat earth content out right now. And honestly, that's how you can tell if they're making videos like this and they're producing them every week or they're producing them every other day or something like that. And it's like a full blown production. It's like, no, like you have a team helping you.
You're not alone.
It's like, I'm, I'm not compromised and I'm doing this on my off time, but I'm also doing it for the passion to wake people up, you know?
It is a passion, bro. It really becomes, because we're talking to our brothers and sisters. We understand that. And like, to grow up in a household with one of your brothers who's maybe older than you still believes in Santa Claus, that's like heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel. And I'm like, how do I get them to understand? Like, I don't want to convince anybody. We convince ourselves. So it's the right information at the right time to the right person
Yep.
can do it. And we never know what that is when that information is put in front of someone, when it's going to grow into what, right? So, like when you started your video, you thought it was going to be this, ended up that. the same thing with like what we're doing. You know, we don't know where these seeds are going to end up, but we feel compelled to plant them because, geez, nobody wants to be lied to for any reason. You know, Kev, if I
Right?
lie to you two, three times and you're like, hey, why, this guy's lying to me all the time, that would put a strain on our relationship.
Yes, sir.
You know, and it doesn't seem to work that way for the people, just, you know, giving out this bad information over and over. And you know, one of my questions lately is like, what else do you trust from these guys? What is it? Where do you trust them? Why? How?
Yeah, right. Really, there are different avenues that are going to wake up different people for sure. Right? For
Right?
some people, it's the history. For some people, it's the biblical side of it. For some people, it's the science, it's the math, it's the conspiracy. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, they can't be, yeah, yeah, right. And then, but then they can't be mad at us for trying to tell them, you know what I mean? It's like, what I see is that people are getting mad because we're trying to wake them up. It's like, dude, you should be mad at the government and the people that are lying to you about this. It's like, why are you getting so offended because I dared to test it?
No, that's part of the conditioning, though.
Yeah.
You know, trust the authorities is drilled into us from, you know, since little kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, propaganda. I was just recently on a show with a friend, Derek Stitt. You might have heard of him. Um, we talked for, you know, a solid hour about propaganda, all different kinds, and that's what we're surrounded by.
Yeah.
Bad propaganda.
Mm-hmm. They've been desensitizing us since we were young, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and it's true that the bigger, more outrageous the lie, the easier it is for them to keep hold of it. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
right?
wow, that's so backwards, but it works. It is. It's so grand that it escapes a lot of people. You know,
Yeah,
it's
a lot of
crazy.
people can't comprehend it, honestly. I was
Oof.
at a friend's house for Thanksgiving, and a good friend, she brought her boyfriend that we'd never met, and he just like mentally like he couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? It was like he was at least acceptable to the information. He didn't freak out, but you could tell that there were some
Short
walls.
circuiting.
Yes, short circuit. No, he had to like that. You could tell that there were some walls that needed to come down before flat Earth was introduced. You know,
Right.
it's like, dude, you have to at least know the moon landing was faked. You have to know 9/11 was an inside job. It's like those two at least you need to be thoroughly studied in before you even delve into an even bigger deception like this. So, and I was trying to explain that to him. I'm trying to be as nice as I could, you know?
And it's hard. Yeah. You know, I slowed down in the past year, I guess, with trying to talk to my friends. They all know what I'm into. You know, being
Hmm.
in the video with Vika, like you were. You were in Flatten the Curve. I was in the mechanical realm, which
Yep.
was really cool that we had that in common.
Right.
And and you know, it's just like I don't know how to get through to them. So I don't want to push on it. Like let you
Hmm.
know, sooner or later they'll either get it or not, I guess.
Yeah. And that was kind of a
Yeah.
reason I made this video too, is because I feel like I went over a lot of the basics in this video. I just explained it in an advanced way that I've never heard before.
Thought it was really great. Some of that stuff goes right over my head too. Still, years later, I'm like, I rewind it. I'm like, all right, but I learn new stuff all the time,
Good.
and I thought that video was awesome because there was really some tough stuff in there, and you did a
Hmm.
great job of making it as simple as possible. I thought.
Hmm.
You know. So what, Kevin? What was your inspiration to make this video? When you got the idea, was there a certain like a crux of happenings that started it, or how did that unfold for you?
Thank you for asking. So, already, like I said, I already had the idea to edit this in multiple sections, right? And I had kind of been slacking on the video, like here and there. Like I said, it took me months. I would say about 30 to 40% of this video has been edited within the past like 4 weeks, right? So a lot of it started speeding up right here at the end. So it really went down to what I had learned from Pastor Dean Odell. So I've been in Pastor Dean Odell's School of Ministry recently, right? And this last semester, he's going over all the false doctrines and like the Hebrew roots and the once saved, always saved, the tulip, the perseverance. And whenever he was going over the false doctrine of eternal security, right? he was talking about the parable that Jesus Christ had said about the master and his servants, right? So, a parable
Okay.
is, for those who don't know, a parable is a story that Jesus Christ talks about that has a lot deeper meaning, right? So, there's a parable that he talks about when it comes to the master and his servants. The master goes and gives one of his servants 5 talents, and the talents stand for currency. I think it's interesting that the word talent is used, though, right? So he,
Yeah.
yeah, so he gives one servant 5 talents. He goes and he invests it, and he comes back with 10. He gives another servant 2 talents. He goes and invests it, comes back with 4, and then he gives another servant just 1 talent, and he goes and he buries it, right? And whenever the master comes back, he's like, "All right, what did you guys do with the talents?" And he's like, "Oh, here I invested it. Here's double. Oh, here I invested it. Here's double." And the one that went and hid the talent, he was like, you basically depart from me, go into the outer darkness where they're weeping and gnashing of teeth, right? And that like really struck soul to me. It was like, holy moly, like I've been extremely blessed, right? I have the whole outline of how this needs to be edited, and I really feel like a lot of it was divine inspiration as well. I'm not even joking. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. And it just kind of dawned on me. It's like I can't just sit on these talents, right? And then not be trying to benefit God's kingdom. And that just like it really, really struck soul to me. And I was like, I need to progress and I need to start waking people up more. And if God has given me this talent, then I need to use it for Him. And that's really like what pushed me to I'm a dad, like I have a job, like I'm a ninja warrior, like I like to go to the gym and stuff, but having like to really sacrifice time, energy, and effort to put this video together the way that I feel like God wanted it put together was the inspiration of the parable with the servants and the master.
Wow, that's really incredible, bro. I love that story.
Thanks.
I do it because we've been given a task, and we do
Hmm.
all have certain talents that I've been told that too. I just have a horrible fear of like mine has to do with the drums, and I got to push through getting over the fear of playing anything in front of people. I just can't stand the thought of it, and
Yeah.
it's maybe sort of a comfort zone. I feel the same way. I wish I had what you had to do that to get through that barrier.
Like I said, that really put the fear of God in me. Like,
Right? Yeah,
I,
because I mean, if we're given talents and not use them,
hmm
I would fear that they'd be taken away or they'd dwindle away from me, and next thing you know, I can't do that anymore.
right. With that parable, the guy with the one talent, he took it away and gave it to the guy with the 10 talents. And it's like,
Hmm. Wow.
it kind of goes back to like the whole Spider-Man, Peter Parker thing. Too much is given, much is expected. And don't get me wrong, I do a lot of activism and like I'm going out and talking to random people and like
Yeah.
telling them to follow my channel and like look into the observations I did and stuff like that. So, but I think a nice long production that covers a lot of different bases is what woke me up, right? What made me really interested instead of just watching like tons of shorts. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking on anyone who does shorts or anything like that,
Mhm.
but it's just for the information that woke me up, it was different, you know?
Who did you do this video for, Kevin? Exactly. Like someone personal, the community, yourself?
So
Who did
thanks
you?
for asking. I originally made this video for the more analytical thinker, right? For the person who thinks he's too smart for flat earth, right? It's like, okay, you really need to take a second look at this, like
Yeah.
it's not just, oh, the boat's over the horizon. It's like, hey, let's look at a bigger picture of what we're really seeing. It's not just the star trajectory like in the south. It's like, okay, let's observe this for ourselves over here in the north and see what really happens. So, and that's kind of why I did the whole equation in the beginning, breaking down from Earth's circumference to its radius to its rate of curvature, just so people understand. It's like, yeah, this is a real formula. This is a real breakdown. And I'm completely aware of the 8 inches times the mile squared being good for a certain distance, right? I've heard that it's good for 180 miles. I heard from another source it's good for 250 miles. I think
Yeah.
the Walter Bislin's advanced Earth curve calculator on his website, it says it's good for like 1,200 miles or something like that.
I
It's
know.
like,
So then,
but either
it's
way,
like
bro.
astronomy.
Yeah.
Just,
Either way, if even if it's up to 100 miles, do you really need more than 100 miles
right.
to prove that it doesn't curve? It's like how many flat spots do you need?
No, exactly. So how did you come to the realization that to get from the radius, which is half the diameter, to the curve formula? How did you get to that and be able to do such a nice polished job on that? Because that
Thank
took
you.
me a while to, because there's a few ways to figure it out
There
too,
is,
and this
there
is
is.
one particular,
Yeah,
right? And it's great, man. It's gonna help a lot of people. It's
absolutely.
gonna stop a lot of people trying to, just be cute about science or whatever, and
Yeah,
be book smart and stuff. Because
yeah,
book
right.
smart is out the door. Yeah.
No, I feel you. So I was making, I started to make the video and I just had a willingness to learn, right? So I reached out to one of my friends who has a PhD in physics, and she already had this already completely mapped out, but she's not as involved in the flat earth community as I am. Shout out to Keitra, by the way. Thank you for all your help. So I had her like teach me how to do it basically. And
Wow.
and like you said, there are other ways of getting to the 8 inches times the mile squared. But the way that she did it was it was more simplistic than what I've seen before. Right. And me and her had a couple of Zoom calls back and forth, a few emails back and forth. It's not like I was just like, I picked it up and I learned it overnight. It's like that was a pretty vigorous equation to get to the 8 inches times the mile squared. You know what I mean? So, but I haven't seen anybody do a breakdown analysis from circumference to radius. So I was like, all right, this needs to be taught. This needs to be seen so people actually get it. Be like, oh, some people ignore the fact that Earth has to curve at a certain rate. It's like, no, like the entire heliocentric religion is based off the radius. Like I said in the video, it's like you can't
Yeah.
have any of the spin of the orbit or anything
Yeah.
without the radius being 100% accurate. So if the radius
Right.
is off, then the entire heliocentric delusion is out the window, like I expressed, right?
Yeah, all their space vehicles, the ISS, the launches, it's all out the door.
Yeah.
Everything they've done.
Mm-hmm.
So not that it's in the door anyway, because who knows what they're really doing. But it really goes out the door at some point.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that was it. That was a really great breakdown, and it was a lot easier to understand than I've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you didn't like run through it like it were racing towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
It was thorough, comprehensive, and had great detail.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's actually
No,
something
thank you,
that,
bro.
yeah, thank you. That's something that Keitra noticed. She was like, hey, you have pauses in your video. And I was like, the pauses are there for a reason. Trust me. It's like I'm going to have background music, but it also viewer time to comprehend it. Just like you said, I'm not just flying through it, blah, 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 blah. It's like,
Right.
all right, here's a breakdown, here's a pause, right? So they can
Yeah.
actually start to understand it and whatnot. So
No,
but
I thought it
thank you for
was.
recognizing that. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, I really thought it was good, bro. I saw the subtle nuances you had in there, and the music was nice too because it kind of helps you think about it, put you
Hmm.
in think mode, and the pauses were well delivered.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. It took a while.
Yeah,
So I took a public speaking class at my church not too long ago. And one of the things that they teach you is there's power in the pause, right?
yeah,
So you don't have to just blah, 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 blah. It's like
yeah.
I put these pauses in here for a reason. So just so everyone's aware.
That's great.
Hmm.
No, it made really, really good sense, man. It did. I'll watch that a few more times. I haven't shared it yet. I wanted to wait till you gave the okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No,
Absolutely.
so I'll definitely have that out to my friends soon. So, what else? I got some more questions for you, Kevin. I
Please,
really
please.
appreciate your time hanging out and doing this with me, brother.
Absolutely.
You know, we were, I think, in the middle of how did you get from the
Oh,
radius
yeah. Yeah.
to the actual curvature measurements that you ended up with?
Yeah. So it's in the video explaining it all again. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you watch this?
No, but I feel like that was a crucial part of naming the video Flat Earth Advanced. I've never seen anybody break down that formula before.
Well, that was a good one, man. That one took me a while to really feel like I understood it well.
Hmm.
And that was an excellent breakdown of it. And like we said, I those pauses were very poetic, very
Thank you.
powerful. Yeah, so nice job, man.
Thank you.
Very nice. And so Kevin, what about who would you say helped you out the most in getting this undertaking done?
So, believe it or not, my 11-year-old daughter, Bea Marie, is the one who helped me out the most. Like,
Wow.
she helped me out with the filming. She was in it a little bit. She did the little
Yeah,
skit with me in the beginning. She
yeah,
helped peer review like a lot of my videos, and she like gave her little advice on what I should like take out or put in or add. And the great part about asking an 11-year-old girl that is your daughter is she will give you the like she'll give you the truth whether you want to hear it
Yeah,
or
yeah,
not. You know what I mean?
yeah, sure,
So believe it or not,
sure.
an 11-year-old girl was my biggest help on this video. Absolutely.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's the leaf doesn't fall far from the tree, Kevin. Right?
Thanks, brother.
I see her videos that you post, and she's such a little powerhouse,
Yeah.
fearless. She's inspirational, you know.
That was G, babe. That was perfect.
You know, I couldn't jump around like her. It's like, wow, look how fun.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Very cool.
It's cool to see. Like she's been doing Ninja Warrior for quite some time, and she's actually the one who got me into it. You want to say hi, babe? This is my
Hello.
daughter, Bea Marie. She was the most help in the video compared to everyone else. That's why you got a special thanks at the end, babe. I appreciate you.
Well, congratulations. You guys did a superb job.
Thank
You,
you.
sh you know what? Thank you. You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Bye.
I'll see ya. Ah, priceless 11. What a great age.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Wow. You're lucky, brother.
Thanks. I like to
Wow.
say I'm one and done, but I feel like I'm too young to say that. So,
All right. Hey, you
mhm.
never know, right?
Yeah, never know.
You must have had a lot of fun. And you say it took probably like about 8 months to really, from a full concept to production to final product, huh?
Yep, just about.
Wow, man. That does speak a lot. Because you know, I never try to produce a video like that. That's way past my pay rate, you know? Like I
Hmm.
wouldn't even try something like that at this point, you know, not my thing. And it does go to show you to watch out for those people, like you said, brother, who are banging out videos, 2 or 3 of those a day or a week even. And it's like
Hmm.
you can't single-handedly do that.
Nope.
I don't see how personally, but it's not my field, so I don't understand how one guy could do all that. And
Yeah.
especially like with my limited knowledge makes it even harder for me to understand. But
Hmm.
you have the understanding of it, and you're saying how long it took you and the hours, the stuff that hits the ground you didn't expect, hours
Hmm.
of preparation, film work, and getting there, and it's like I got to scrap it. That's got to be a level of frustration, though, I guess. And you know, it's like oh, you got to kind of trudge through the muddy water to get through that.
Oh yeah. Those were some
Wow.
mental blockers that kind of slowed me down, but I was like, I have to finish it. You know what I mean? So I had the vision, so I had to complete the vision. So I did though.
You know, I'm gonna take a lot of this with me, Kevin, for a long time, bro. This is a great opportunity, man. I really appreciate you doing this with me, brother. You know, I
I
really do.
I had
Did
the
you
idea, and it came to mind, and you came to mind. So I was like, you know what, Gene would be perfect for this. So I'm gonna
thank
go ahead
you.
and ask him to do it. And,
Wow,
and
I'm
thank you
honored.
for accepting my offer right away too. That was really cool. And thank you
Oh
for
yeah.
getting through the whole troubleshooting and the subtitle thing last night and everything and being patient with me. So you've been great.
Hey, see, that's another thing. Look at all the hiccups we just went through in the past day,
Right?
getting together to
Right?
get this where we are right now.
Yep, true, true.
A lot of little potholes and hurdles you got to navigate through these roads, and
Mm-hmm.
2, 3 different streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, they're really not working for us. Excuse me.
God bless you.
So, Kevin, do you have a favorite part, a portion of the video that you like the most, you had the most fun making, or what you feel like might be like your favorite part? What hit home for you the most?
I think the Star Trails part at the end, whenever I'm going over the southern regions of Earth, when I'm going over how that works, I just had like so many different ideas, and I was like, all right, how can I compile all of these? And I actually reached out to one of my friends in South America, and he's the one who helped me some of this information together. Shout out to Ale. And that was probably the funnest part for me putting it together. But after like watching it all flow, just like the first part of whenever I start talking about the star trails, that's like my favorite part because it was explained in a way that I've never heard before. And I can go ahead and ask you this. Did you know that the stars go clockwise here in the northern region of Earth looking south? Because I didn't even know that at all. And I've actually talked to a couple of polished flat earthers who did not know that either. Some like very reputable flat earthers. I was like, hey, did you know like you don't have to go to the south to watch the stars rotate in a clockwise rotation? And they're like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, just point your camera south. You know what I mean?
Right,
And they can't use
right.
that as proof of motion if it's not subject to the latitude of the observer. It's like, oh, I talked to whenever I got into the debate with the ground-based NASA astronomer who's been doing it for 30 years. I asked this NASA astronomer what his best proof of Earth's motion is, and he said, but that was my
That's
favorite part.
that's
Yes.
that's a really good one because I was a Boy Scout as a kid, and learning how to navigate with a compass, we were taught that the North Star is always there, and the Big Dipper dumps out to the North
Mm-hmm.
Star, and that just circles the North Star. And we learned that ancient astronomers use these means to navigate the oceans. And I'm like, but the stars, they just pass as the same picture all the time. It's the same. They shift location through the year, but and they rotate every night. It's just like that bothered me for a really really long time. And so being in the mechanical realm was special for me for that reason.
I bet.
Thinking that God was telling me
Yep.
that this is wrong, Gene. This what they're telling you is not really what's happening.
That's
And that
excellent.
just I'm like, I'm lucky for those flags. And I've been skeptical for reasons like that my whole life, about the narrative and what the schools were really doing. And I wasn't able to really put my finger on it until later on in life, but I just had this distrust that I didn't feel like I just thought maybe I was being you know with belligerent kind of, overcritical of the adults that were running the place into the ground right in front of us. Like, where are the good guys doing something about all these problems we seem to keep having?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was good to pay attention to that voice from the angels or God when they're trying to talk to you.
Yeah, you had discernment since you were a kid. You were meant to understand geocentric astronomy. You were meant for this, like. So that's great to hear that you knew something was off even as a child, like
Yeah, it was, and I can picture being with these people, the guys, the leaders. Some of them were from Vietnam, army guys, and I remember presenting it to them, and I don't remember what they said, but I remember it like I couldn't let it go, Kevin. It just wouldn't go away from me. That how are we moving, and they're all moving, and they stay the same. It just blew my
yeah.
mind. I'm like, but still not able to articulate that it was wrong or a lie or a purposeful lie that is presented as wrong. So
Oh, don't go questioning astronomy, Gene.
right, right. No, there's a few things in life that were very like isolated incidences about me questioning my surroundings and having that internal conversation. All right, so Kevin, how did you first learn about the flat Earth, and what was the point of no return that you were convinced that the heliocentric model that we were taught is wrong?
So I actually have a similar story as you, Gene. So I remember as a child, I was up on my parents' roof, and me and my siblings, we always used to climb up the wall and get on the roof. And I remember having this thought come to mind whenever I was up looking at the stars. I must have been probably between 7 and 10 years old, right? Potentially even younger. I remember looking at the stars and just having this deep thought, like something isn't right here, you know? And like I was at a young age too. So, and then I watched The Truman Show, and that movie never really left my mind. Is like, why was that movie so impactful to me? And then come to find out later on, messages of flat Earth throughout the entire movie, you know?
Right.
And then I actually learned about it from a very trusted friend of mine, and I think that's why it resonated with me so much because I was hanging out with one of my friends and doing things we probably shouldn't have, and and
You know?
yeah, he tells me, he's like, bro, you know, Earth isn't a globe, right? And I was just like, no, there's no way. And then I literally laughed
Really?
at him. I laughed in his face, like, and
Yes.
then he didn't press it on me at all. And then the next morning, he had sent me a link, which was a documentary. And looking back on the documentary, it wasn't even that good, to be completely honest. Like, I tried to watch
Okay.
it a few years ago. It wasn't even a good one, but it definitely piqued my interest, and I kept looking into it and kept looking into it. But I can't say that there's like one aha moment for me. You know what I mean? And I've been doing
Okay.
this for like 9, 10 years now. And my aha moment was so long ago that I don't really remember it. You know what I mean? I think it was a lot of different information kind of compiled into my mind and was like, all right, this is completely wrong. But when I did find out, like I definitely went extremely public with it. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, not everybody does, bro.
Yeah.
So we're
Hmm.
lucky to have you here and understanding things the way you do and being able to help other people understand it as well. You
Thank you.
know?
I appreciate it. Hmm.
No, thank you, bro.
I feel like it's one of my talents, right? That I need that
Uh,
need.
to be able to express your thoughts is a talent.
Hmm.
It definitely is. You know? So Kev, what do you think the stars are?
So that's a hard one, you know? Like, so I
Isn't
like
it?
the theory of the star in a jar about the solar luminescence, right? About water being contained by a glass jar and having a certain vibration hit it and it implode the water to where it looks and replicates a star, right? And that makes sense when the
Right.
water's above the firmament or potentially being above the ether, lower than the firmament. But biblically speaking, they're going to fall to earth like figs from a fig tree, you know? So that's one of the signs of Jesus' second coming is the stars will fall. So what are they like? I wish I could give you a more clear answer. I think there's some
Yeah.
things in the heavens that we're never going to understand, and I don't think we're supposed to. You know what I mean? I can tell you one
Yeah.
thing, that they are not balls of gas light years away.
I call them hydrogen and helium gravity rockets. Nuclear gravity rockets, actually.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did you
No,
like how
that.
I mentioned the distant starlight problem?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the distant starlight problem, if you believe in a young Earth and you believe in outer space, they completely contradict themselves because you can't have stars that are light years away because it would have taken billions of years for the light to get here, right? So you
Right.
need the Big Bang cosmology for the Big Bang. A young Earth needs local stars. And I've heard the mental gymnastics that people will play on this on the opposing side. Bro, it was so worth bringing up because their response is so funny, so funny. I have a friend, he believes in the heliocentric religion, but he believes in the young Earth. I was like, well, you have a distant starlight problem, and he was like, well, and his response, bro, oh my gosh, I wish I would have recorded it. You know, like it was so funny. I was like, dude, that sounded like a lot of theoretical, nihilistic science that has nothing to do with reality. There's a lot
Well,
of a simple answer, and usually the truth is a lot more simple, right, Gene?
very
The
often.
stars are right there, and they're in the firmament. That's not
Yeah.
not hard. It's not complex at all.
No, and they also have the light problem, even in the heliocentric model with the Big Bang, because light just can't travel great distances and not dim out.
Oh,
Inverse
right.
square law of light.
The inverse square law of light. You're correct. Yep.
So they have a light problem with the stars either way you cut that up.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for making that connection. Awesome. I should have mentioned that in my video.
Yeah. We got time, man. Next time.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll make another one like that in a while. I have some other productions in my back pocket for sure, but what happened was is I seen myself working on like 5 different projects at once. I was like, you know what? I'm cutting all of these to the side and just working on one until it's done. There is other stuff on the way though, for sure, but it's going to be a lot easier for me to produce. So, but I needed to get the heavy hitter out the way.
That's a great way to break open, like I said, the alleged new year, though, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, that was kind of the idea too. I was going to
Nice.
call it the best flat Earth video of 2025, but then, but then it went past 2025, and I'm still working on it. So it's like, all right, I need a new name for this. So I just figured Flat Earth Advanced would be catchy and pique people's interest. You know?
No, it's great because, bro, it is advanced with the complex aspects to it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's simplified so you can understand the advanced part of it the way you did it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I still go
Yeah.
over like a lot of the basic information though, I feel. Like the horizon staying at eye level, boats over the curve, water needing to be contained. You know what I mean? Like I go over a lot of the basic stuff, but I tie it into where like, hey, this can't be refuted. And I don't know, it just turned out the way it did, you know, God willing.
Right. And here's your real math on how to show yourself this.
Yep, exactly. I think that was a great part too, is because I'm giving people exact distances, exact locations, exact elevations, exact amount of missing curvature, so you can go and test this yourself. You're not going to find a globe lever saying, "Oh, go test Earth's curvature." It's like, no, that doesn't happen. Us flat earthers, we're going to be like, "Hey, go test this. Here's the location I did it. Here's the math." It's like take all this into account while you're doing your own observations.
That's funny because you don't see them do that.
No, you never see him suggesting that. No, trust the science, appeal to authority, right? It's like, no,
Uh,
dude, we have to test science. That's why it's there.
wow. And, and you'd be surprised how quick the effect should be really seen.
Yeah.
Any 10 miles, 60 feet,
Mm-hmm.
that's plenty. I drove over the Verrazano Bridge countless times in my life. I grew up right there. And you look right across it, 13 miles away is the beginning of Manhattan,
Oh, no way.
right there. And vice versa. So now you're in Manhattan in a skyscraper looking at the Verrazano, and it's all perfect. There's nothing you can see ever. Even Manhattan alone is 13 miles long, and it's all perpendicular to the plane, bro.
Oh, no way. So you can measure Manhattan on the x-axis and measure it completely flat from that bridge.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
see that's a measurement of Earth that you can easily 13 miles, like do the math.
Bro, it's just so. Let me ask you something over here. It says 6 feet of curve. So what would the deviation off a plumb be in 60 of curve in that 13 miles?
On the x-axis. So is that what you're asking?
What's the y, I think?
Oh, the y? You would just do the math. You would do 60 times 60 times 8 divided by 12, right?
Okay.
And then you can also factor in the height. And my friend who has the PhD in physics, she was going to teach me how to do that part, but I was like, at that point, I can just use the Earth curve calculator, you know?
That stuff goes over my head, bro. It does. I'm like, oh.
Oh, I think I've debated enough globe believers to where like I know their stance, I know their rebuttal.
Yeah.
What made this video so deadly is because if you explain their rebuttal before you're even done explaining the video, then you've already overcome the objections. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that's kind of what
Yeah.
I did with God's local son. Is I compared both sides. It's like here's the heliocentric religion, here's what you observe. Here's the globe model, here's what you observe. So comparing both sides and overcoming their objections before they even have a chance to troll is kind of a cool approach, in my opinion.
It's great.
Mhm.
Stop them before they get started.
Stop it. It's like so what I'm doing is I'm taking all the ammunition out of their gun. I'm emptying the gunpowder and I'm giving them back their shells. It's like here you
Fire
go.
away.
Throw them at me. You got nothing.
Oh, wow.